Hey everybody, it's Mike Weller with the Weller Group at Keller Williams Realty here in Yorba Linda, and I'm reaching out with our monthly Yorba Linda real estate market update. It's April 2020. I'm actually recording this here on Easter Sunday, Sunday, April 12th. And obviously we're in a very different world than all of the previous Yorba Linda monthly updates that we've been bringing to you. So I'm kind of bringing the market update. We're looking at numbers a little bit differently because normally we do a rolling 3 months. We do quarters, and actually we just finished up March, so we actually have the first quarter of 2020 in the books. But I think right now looking at a quarter of data is not as relevant as trying to boil it down a little bit to see how things have changed over the last few weeks and over the last month with the COVID-19 situation. So we're looking just monthly, month over month, in March of 2020 to March of last year. And then I'm going to break down the market segments even a little bit more detailed into weeks, so you can see what has happened over the last 6 weeks or so since the beginning of March. So overall in Yorba Linda, the average price is $952. That was the average price here in March of 2020. It's still up 9% over last year when it was $867. These numbers aren't super relevant right now. I kind of want to see how things are going forward. We only have 1.6 months of inventory on the market here, so it's still a low inventory market. And again, we're just 2 weeks into real estate being an essential service in the COVID-19 environment. So everything is very fluid right now. But let me share with you some of the data on what's been going on in the different market segments in Yorba Linda weekly. So overall in Yorba Linda, the first week of March 1st through 7th, we had 26 homes, new sales, so pending sales, 26 homes going under contract. The next week, the 8th through 14th, we had 25. Then that's kind of when everything got shut down. That's when the schools closed. The first week of schools being closed and everybody being quarantined at home, we had 13 pending sales. The next week, we had 10 pending sales, and that was that whole week, we were not allowed to show homes. Real estate, we were kind of shut down and very limited in a lot of ways. And then that weekend, they actually made real estate an essential service, which kind of opened us up to be able to facilitate transactions. In the first week coming out of that, we actually had we only had 7 pending sales. And then this past week, April 5th through 11th, we had 9 pending sales. So now that is a pretty, it's a significant drop off. We're having about a third number of sales each week than we had the first couple of weeks of March when we were in a very, very hot market. So let's break that down by category now, just to give you some perspective. So condos and townhomes, we had the beginning of March, we had 3 sales and 4 sales. Then we went through a couple of weeks. Those first couple of weeks, there were no condo and townhome sales. And then the last couple of weeks, we've had 3 sales and 2 sales. Single family homes under 800,000, we had 6 sales and 7 sales weekly. And then those first couple of weeks under the COVID-19 lockdown, we had 5 and 5, so not much of a drop off despite what was going on. And then the last couple of weeks, we've only had 2 and 1. And I actually attribute that much more to there's absolutely no inventory on the market in that price range. Keep in mind, a lot of listings have been pulled off the market, or people are holding off on listing their homes right now. So we're seeing that, especially in those typically tight price ranges. But now, like the middle price range in Yorba Linda, 800,000 to 1.4. The first week of March, we had 15 sales. The second week of March, we had 8 sales. And then when we went into quarantine, we had 6 sales and 5 sales. And then here, the last couple of weeks, we had 2 sales and then again 5 sales. So you can kind of see how that price category has dropped off over the last 6 weeks. And now we're going to look at the luxury market, 1.4 million and above. The first week of March, we had 2 sales. And then that second week, we actually had 6 sales. That was a really strong week for that price category, that submarket. And then we had 2 sales, and then a couple of weeks in a row where we had 0 and 0. And this past week, we had 1. So we've only had 3 sales in the last 4 weeks, 1.4 million and above. That's half as many sales as we had the week going into the quarantine, that second week of March. So we have seen the largest drop off in the 1.4 million and above price category. And honestly, I kind of feel like that's what we're going to see. If there are longer term effects on the real estate market here locally due to COVID-19, even when we get back to more of a semi-normal life, I kind of feel like that luxury price category is where we're going to see the biggest hit. So those numbers I wanted to share with you. I thought you would find those relevant. The numbers that we're seeing over the last week or last couple of weeks are kind of similar to like the numbers we would see like in December and early January around holiday time. So, certainly the real estate market has changed a little bit right now. I think a lot of it is temporary, both on the listing side, less listings, and on the buyer side. But that luxury, that high-end market is, I think, going to see more significant changes. The financing, the jumbo financing is really difficult right now. The more bread and butter financing in the entry-level price ranges is still, there's some challenges, there's some turn time delays, but it still exists. It is still there. So anyway, that's the Yorba Linda market over the last 6 weeks. I thought you might find that interesting and helpful. In our monthly newsletter, we also have a chat with one of our local lenders, so she can tell you a little bit more about what's going on in the financing world. But reach out to me with any questions. It's definitely an interesting, turbulent time. I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you are enjoying your time at home with your family, and stay safe, and I will see you around town or see you next month. Take care.